Hey Luca, this balance is for you.
Hi.
Reenee-Jee is our surrogate today, so we're going to kick on in and see if we can make you feel a bit better and try to get some solutions and answers for you. Okay. Okay, so 100% Luca. 100% Luca. Is there anything else we need to do? Okay. So is Luca's conscious brain happy with us to work on him? Is his subconscious happy? Okay, so his subconscious brain and his unconscious brain are happy, but his conscious brain needs a little bit of work. Okay, so what do we need? Luca's conscious brain. Do we need some switching? Do we need some flower essences? Some flower essences. Okay. So do we need bark, bush? Okay. So we need a few drops of Waratah essence. Waratah is for when we've lost our connection to source and we can't see a way out of something. Something's been going on for so long that the conscious brain goes, well, there's obviously no solution.
7's quite a significant developmental phase, isn't it?
Yeah, right. Well, I mean, the brain's doing so many things, especially, with little boys, the testosterone really kicks on in.
I'm just seeing this whole in my little ones.
Yeah, right. So it's for courage, tenacity, adaptability, strong faith, and enhancement of survival skills.
Oh, wow, I need that.
I have courage, tenacity, and faith in all situations now. I am finding the courage and strength to face the challenges of life. Already an awesome little human being.
Sweet.
Okay, so how many drops do we need? 7 drops, yeah. So I think because this stuff's been going on since birth, 7 drops tends to be that whole lifetime dose. So Reenee-Jee gets her much needed brandy this afternoon.
Which explains why I'm late. Oh,
The discombobulated brain.
yes, oh my gosh, I'm so glad.
Okay, is there anything else this body needs before we can kick into action? Okay, so we've got the permission from the unconscious brain, the subconscious brain, and the conscious brain. Perfect. Okay, so where do we now? The main aims are about the cough, the constipation, and the gut. So where do we need to start with this little body? So do we need to... Okay, so we need... Right. So we need to start with survival stuff anyway. Because when born was 4 weeks early. And, yeah, he was 4 weeks early. And had jaundice and there was a little internal bleed with the mum because of a car accident.
While she was pregnant?
Okay, so the adrenals are doing okay, but there's a deep survival and a hidden deep survival pattern in there. So we need to clear those. So just thinking about coughs and constipation and gut, if your unconscious brain is constantly saying to the body that we are about to have something traumatic happen, then breathing, your body's deliberately putting your breath into that upper third of the lungs. We're not getting that nice deep breath. So it's going to make breathing hard. Digestion isn't important. Certainly elimination isn't important if we've got that 1, 3, 5, 10 seconds to actually survive some trauma. So we're going to go into deep survival. So is it in the PVSS, the paraventricular survival system? Yes, it is. Goodness me. All the kids are home today?
With 8.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's staying in his brother's living room.
Okay.
Just a suburb, I think.
And hold.
Christmas.
We're doing 3 nights up at O'Reilly's. Yeah,
Be nice and fresh up there.
I hope so. Hope there's no dimming going on up there.
Oh.
No, there's plenty of trees, so hopefully
Mm.
we're above any shenanigans.
What are you thinking about this heat?
Well, I've got the pool, so I just jump in the pool regularly.
Do you think it's like out of friendly hot?
I think everything they're doing to cool the planet down is probably working the opposite way they think it's going.
So Mother Nature's just.
I don't think it's Mother Nature. I think it's Big Brother. Like on that website, geoengineeringwatch.org, it's Dane Wigington, so he's got his documentary on there called The Dimming. And in there he's got a NASA document from 2021, I think, where he's chatting about where the NASA document is talking about the measures that they've put in place and how those measures seem to be creating shenanigans on the planet.
A document?
Yeah, he's got lots of documents on that website. He's got stuff from all over the world, different agencies and governments and contracts and things. Yeah, crazy. Same with Reenee-Jee, she shared one back in July this year. That was a 200-year contract given to a private company in the States that you can find on the government website that gives a private company the ability to dim the sun for 200 years.
Why not 1 year?
Yeah, 200, yeah, 200 years, yeah.
What kind of contract is that? That's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's really interesting reading through it. I mean, I haven't read through it, I've just listened to Maria pull out highlights from it, and the highlights are disgraceful. The highlights are... Anyway, so yes. So breathing is important on the planet, and unfortunately there's all sorts of stuff in the atmosphere. So, there were lots of trails that started maybe 4 weeks ago with a vengeance. I don't know if you noticed. But I've had lots of people whose lungs just haven't been able to breathe properly in the last 3-4 weeks. I've got clients who have all of a sudden came down with the next bout of COVID,
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah, they have.
so it's been a really toxic time around here. Yeah, so serotonin is low, and that's blocking the throat chakra, which is interesting because he's such a little determined dude.
His body is determined.
No, that's what I've been told.
Oh.
Bossy, determined, likes getting his own way. Which, every kid on the planet, but some kids don't have the energy to put it out there to say that's what they want. But interesting with the throat chakra when you've got that cough constantly, because coughing, the lungs are about grief, guilt, regret. And we've got some survival patterns in there which, just clear these. Oh, okay, so we might have hit a spot where either they're gone or the body needs a diffusional correction.
Well, I just coughed a couple of times before.
Yeah, right. Nicely done. So, do we need a diffusional correction? A correction, ESR oscillation, chakra essence, cranial TK's tuning fork combo. So liver is the first coordinate. Liver, kidneys. Interesting, so very detoxy combo.
How does that link with jaundice as a baby?
Yeah, so jaundice is about liver toxicity.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, so Josh, he had jaundice really bad, and he was a big whopper of a baby, 8 pounds 5 or something. and he was the biggest kid in the humidity cribs. Remember they do the humidity cribs? They're sort of like a therapy,
Hospital?
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
like a blue light sort of thing
Oh, okay. He had to look up in there.
for a week. Mm. Yeah, interesting though, because lung energy is before both kidney energy and liver energy. So lung energy is the mother energy of kidney and the grandmother energy of liver. So whatever blockage is going on in the lung, it might be messing with that traveling through the body. So elm flower essence is showing up. That is a Bach flower. Sense of insufficiency. Well, as a kid, when you can't do stuff because of a darn cough that, you know. Okay, we need to transcend. Okay. Do we need to do the flower essence? No, we don't. Okay, just the tuning forks? Okay. Yeah, so the tuning forks combination is about just allowing the body to go, hey, hang on, I'm doing okay. This is my little body. It's having a bit of a hiccup at the moment, but we're going to be okay.
You did that so nicely.
See, you've seen Monica a few times lately.
Yeah, we have. She's been keeping on top of her knees, which is good. It's finding one quite helpful too.
Yeah. And that's the thing, I'm always surprised when people think health is a one-stop wonder, you know? It's like an ongoing,
Of course, hey.
you know, stuff happens. Okay, I'm 100% with you. Okay, so let's go in there and double check the adrenals, survival, deep survival, and hidden deep survival. Beautiful. Okay, is there a jammed chiron point? Yes, there is. Okay, so linking any and all issues with the chiron point into double anterior deltoid. And hold. One of my tricks from Italy.
Oh, sounds new.
Yeah, so is it on the back of the body, the left of the body, the right of the body, the left of the body, top of the body, so it's top left. Okay, so there is a planet Chiron,
Yes.
and if we all have a Chiron point on our body, and it's different for everyone, and if the Chiron point is leaking, we're constantly giving out our energy, and his little Chiron point is here. Hold. Okay. So it's on the left thigh, it's on the left thigh. So that's where the Chiron point is. So let's ask the body how sealed it is or unsealed. So should we go sealed or unsealed? Should we need to go unsealed? So to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80 to 90 to 100. So it's 100% unsealed at the moment, which means we're leaking energy constantly from this little bod. Okay, do we need to know when? Do we need to know why? Do we just need to heal it? We just need to heal it. Okay, so what's the first step? ESR oscillation chakra, essence, cranial, chikis, tuning forks, celestial circuit. Celestial circuit. So we're going to do the celestial circuit to help to shimmy that energy. And hold. Hold. Yeah, right. So third stage stress associated with the celestial circuit. So is the celestial circuit going forward? Is it jammed? Is it running backwards? It's running backwards. So the celestial circuit is a connection between our conscious meridian and our unconscious meridian. It's supposed to be going in a forward direction to feed the energy from your conscious brain to your unconscious brain through the meridians. And it's not only blocked, but it's actually running in the reverse direction, and that's draining the Chiron point. That's not a lot of fun. Yeah. Yeah, right. So,
It actually feels like it needs to be touched.
yeah, nice.
Yeah. It's referring kind of like in with medius and it's in sacral.
Interesting. Because he's got constipation as well,
Yeah.
so there could be some. Reenee-Jee does Chini Sang. Actually, I wonder if that would be, I mean, they're in northern New South Wales, but I wonder if that could be an idea. Get someone who does massage, that Chini Sang abdominal massage.
So they had a workshop at the Gold Coast.
Yeah, right.
Our master, I think,
Yeah.
that does the ginseng. They were taught by Manta.
Right.
Workshop. Which is interesting, you know, so it's getting up there.
Yeah, very cool. With integration areas, so it helps to reintegrate the brain for hearing, comprehending, taking in new information.
Just specifically on the right.
No, this is the more the to do with the creative, and on the left is more to do with the logical.
Susan was in a but she's wanting a massage at some point soon. She said
Cool.
it wasn't Susan that was in her house.
Yeah, right. So now with the celestial circuit, the reticular activating system's shown up. So this is low serotonin. Serotonin is a really important nutrient we release from the small intestine to help us with constipation. So if your celestial circuit is running backwards, then it's trying to put your body into survival constantly, so your body's going to deplete your serotonin all the time as well. So once again, amazing that he's so energetic and smart and, you know, so switched on. Maybe that whole old soul thing is just given him a lease of life that really is working even with all this stuff going on in his little bod. Enough of the good stuff is counterbalancing his little body's challenges. Okay, let's recheck the celestial circuit. Actually, let's go and have a look at the Chiron point. So percentage leaking. Okay, so to 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70. Okay, so we're down to about 60 to 70% leaking. Let's check the celestial circuit. And hold. hold. Okay, so it's taken it from third stage stress down to second stage stress. Mm. Yeah, right. Interesting. So once again, is it going forwards? Is it blocked? It's still going backwards, but it's second stage stress now. Okay, so where do we need to go next? We need some psychological in there. Okay, we need to work out what level of psychological reversal is in there as well. So, so want, need, think, safe, believe, deserve, trust. Right, so some part of the little brain is gone. I don't think I'm ever going to get better. So it's like a trust issue. I trust I can let go of this problem. And hold. I trust it's better to keep this problem. Hold. Yeah. My grandson had really crap lungs. His mum did a couple of jabs in the womb in the third trimester, and he pretty much from day dot didn't have great lungs. And about 2 years ago now, 2 years ago, the Renew.
Oh, okay.
Was it about 2 years ago of something I've been using it?
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically about 2 years ago we started using the redox molecules on his chest, and since then his lungs have been getting better and better and better, because everywhere you put the gel it allows the body to detox, renew and regenerate. So it just allows those redox molecules to build up in the cells and do what the cells are supposed to do. So without enough redox molecules in the body, any cell can deteriorate, get too toxic and die, and doesn't regenerate as fast as it's supposed to. But I love it externally.
Have you tried the mouse?
No. No. Didn't get any of the specials recently. No. Well, I don't know where to find the collagen. It's all in that back office thing. I don't know how to do that. One day I was speaking to the chick up at Mulaney, you know, the chick in charge of the street. Yeah. And and she explained it, except she didn't even know how to do it. So by the time we got off the phone and I was more confused, I thought, oh well, I don't need it.
I was reading the one that we got from Thailand. Remember you didn't know
Oh,
where to
right.
find it?
Oh yeah, I found it. It's in the drawer upstairs.
Okay.
I did find it. I'll have to double up in my sauna.
Yeah, definitely find out what all the lights are and it's such a body.
Yeah.
Oh, in your sweat.
Mm.
Interesting. Well, it's good that they're expelling, like it's coming out.
Yeah, totally. And but what the hell was that right angled thing?
Yeah.
You know? Interesting. So then because of that, I looked at the blood of one of my clients on Saturday morning, and she eats organically. She doesn't go to work where everyone, you know, is sick all the time. I don't think she's hugged a jab person in 3 years, you know, so she's been pretty diligent, and we found all sorts of weird shaped things in her blood. But once again, it's coming from everywhere.
Yeah. So you haven't seen that type of thing in the blood, only in the sweat. Is that right?
That's the one and only lot of sweat I've ever looked at, which is mine.
Yeah.
Um,
But you haven't seen that in blood.
no,
No?
not like that.
Okay.
I see lots of other stuff in blood. But yeah, dreaming geoengineering is pretty funny. Okay, good. So now let's go and have a look. So once again, what percentage are we up to with the chiron point? So what percentage sealed are we? To 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 to 50 to 60 to 70 to 80 to 90 to 100. So give me any and all links to leaking chiron point. Give me any and all issues into a double anterior deltoid. Okay, so chiron point is sealed. Let's go double check that celestial circuit. Make sure it's heading in the right direction. And hold. And hold. Beautiful. Hold. Excellent. So now, where do we need to go next? So is there something I need to put on as the goal? Let's have a look. So gut, constipation, cough. Okay, so how do I do it? Can I do it through the immune system? Should I do it through the adrenals, through the survival, deep survival, hidden deep survival? So through the immune system. Okay, so asking the body in relation to any and all gut issues, any and all gut inflammation, any and all gut toxicity. And hold. Hold, hold. So these are some master immune system points. And of course, 90% of the immunity's in the gut. None of those locked. So the immune system's really struggling down there. But again, if his little body's been running on survival patterns since he was born or since he was in utero, then potentially it's never had, and his chiron point's been leaking, potentially he's just never had the ability to build up, you know. Have your little ones been?
They've been good. They've been just eating so much. Just growing little bodies. Reenee now had 8 kids since last night.
Yeah, right. Okay, so any and all inflammation, toxicity associated with the gut. So what this is doing, it's not, obviously it's not healing it, but what we're doing is picking up the immune system so that it's even recognizing stuff. Because there was even an energy mismatch, which means the body doesn't even recognize some of the stuff going on in the gut, whether it's inflammation or toxicity or bugs or whatever. So we just need to get these things online so that we can go do a balance around. The second thing, let's think about the constipation. So constipation, there's nearly always things like infections and stuff. There's nearly always stuff like probiotics and things that are out of whack, heavy metals that are building up in the body. So, you know, we need to wake those little guys up. So any and all challenges with constipation. So any and all toxicity creating constipation, any and all infections causing constipation. Because the immune system will have a role with all of those. Yeah. So they're just not locking at all. Okay.
Is he releasing any bowels?
Sorry?
Is he releasing any bowels? Stools?
Well, I assume so. But he can get really fussy with his food, and then the bowels are even worse, you know, when his fiber's really low. Okay, and now let's ask around the cough. So let's, for this one, I'm gonna go both into the straight lungs as well as the immune system as well. So any and all infections, any and all toxicity, any and all allergens. And hold back for me. Hold. Hold. Funnily enough, not as bad. You can feel that there's more energy. Like they're still unlocking, but they're not as bad as the other ones. So, which makes me wonder whether the lungs are, you know, actually in Chinese medicine, lung and large intestine communicate with each other. So, if one of the energies is low, then it can affect the other one. So, the lung energy is the yin, the large intestine energy is the yang. So, you know, they have this gentle loop of energy all the time. So, once again, interesting that they're the organs that are playing up with our little mite.
And then the metal energy.
Heavy, yeah, funnily, heavy metal. Yeah, metal element. Potentially, ironically. But yeah, when the sky is dim and just filled with crap, people's lungs can really play up. Beautiful. Okay. So where next? So now that we've got all of that online, shall we go into, say, infections? Shall we go, so infections first? Okay. So let's just go check the big things, you know, viruses, parasites, bacteria, that sort of stuff. Actually, we might even start with, say, biofilms. So biofilm and mucoid plaque. Because he's getting the vomiting and the mucus and that sort of thing. We need the body to be recognizing mucus. Because obviously the mucus is only there to protect itself. So when doesn't matter actually whether we're vomiting mucus, whether we're pooping mucus, we need to know what, you know, the mucus is only there trying to protect it. So our body creates it to bind something to take it out of the body. That's a Lynn this morning.
Has she come in?
Yeah, she picked up some Renew.
Nice.
First time I've seen her in years.
Yeah, I mentioned to her that you have some stuff.
Yeah. I had run out.
So you didn't have any?
No, first time I haven't had any in ages.
Oh, wow.
I had 12 arriving and I think now I'm down to like 3 again or something.
Oh, wow. So, so she couldn't get any then?
No, she waited till it came in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, she said she hadn't used it in like a year and her face has just been like dry.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So relation of mucoid plaque and biofilms. And hold. Okay, so now let's go in and find out what might be causing that. So firstly we'll start with bacteria and bacterial particles. Bacteria and bacterial particles. Bacteria and bacterial lipopolysaccharides. Because the little bugs, when we are killing anything off, yeah, right, then the body has to recognize the bits of the bugs that we're killing. So just say you have antibiotics and just say the antibiotics work and just say the antibiotics destroy, say, staph or strep or something like that, and they break them apart into about 30 pieces. Well, those pieces can be really inflammatory. So those pieces, the body will actually then go and release some mucus, some biofilm, to bind with those little bugs. But unfortunately, they're usually not dead. So then they are hanging around waiting until our immune system's low, and then they come back out to play and they rejoin in a slightly different configuration so that the body has to create new antibodies to kill them off again. especially with things like staph and strep, because we haven't changed antibiotics for staphylococcus and streptococcus since like 1960s.
So then you're just going to get sick again.
Yeah, absolutely. What a surprise. Unless our immune system is smart enough to finally do something in the background. Okay, so that's bacteria. Let's check parasites. Parasites and parasitic particles. And the corresponding LPSs, lipopolysaccharides. And of course, after a couple of lots of antibiotics, I'm sure you realise that we can then end up having a weakened immune system, so things like fungus and candida can grow and parasites can grow. So every time we change the pH of our gut, so how acid or alkaline it is, the more likely we are to have something else grow in the background, you know, because it's all a numbers game in there as well. If we have lots of antibiotics and it wipes out our microbiome, but we've still got space in there, then your body's going to create whatever it can, whether it's candida or fungus or parasites. Parasites and parasitic particle and any and all corresponding LPSs. And hold, beautiful. Okay, so let's go fungal and fungal spores. Candida, fungus, fungal spores. And hold. Yeah, hold. Any of these can be in the lungs as well, so that, you know, if we've got a leaky gut, then we often have leaky lungs. You know, it's sort of one of those things. If we've got skin issues, we might have leaky gut, leaky lungs, so, or leaky gut, leaky skin. And if we've got a brain issue, we might have leaky gut, leaky brain. So it depends where our genetic weakness is or our environmental toxic load is as to where we're going to end up going and building up these toxins and infections in the body.
Can you build up mucus in the lungs too?
Oh yeah, you sure can.
So is mucus biofilm or is that different?
Can be. So doesn't, not always, but it can be.
Okay.
But that's why I put them together. Mm. Okay, so candida, bacterial, parasite, fungus. Let's check in relation to virus and viral-like toxins, virus and viral-like particles, virus and viral-like infections, and any and all synthetic and natural viruses. And hold. And with the homeopathic vaccines that he's had, you know, it's sort of interesting because that's, I imagine, is how we make it with the bioresonance now. So, you know, the Solex AO scan, which is an awesome device that you can have in your home, it's something that helps you to work out what homeopathic someone needs on a daily basis to help them pick up their energy. So there's some really cool stuff in that device to help kids, to help anyone, but from a perspective of long-term health on the planet at the moment, it's one of the things that could be an idea for you and your family.
How many devices that is there a new device?
Sorry? Which one?
From Solex.
Well, so as of the weekend, so about 3 months ago, they ran out of the phone-sized one. So they only had the A5 one, and now they've run out of the A5 one, so they're not making devices anymore. So people can just do it on their phone or buy a dedicated tablet, you know, so just wait till a special comes and get a tablet, or it can be done on the computer. So, you know, I've been running those group healings. You know, I've got another one starting next week. So with those, I open up different tabs on my computer and have a tab dedicated to one of the groups. So that's how I'm running them all simultaneously.
So you kind of training them to
No. This is me doing a healing. So it's a healing 2 hours a day minimum. So Amanda did a couple of the groups.
Okay.
And Maria's about to do the next one. But there's nothing really about the groups because it's sort of like me running frequencies for here and you don't know about it. It's basically that every day. I'm running the frequencies to people in the groups and we just happen to have a little messenger pod where I am putting in the frequencies that I'm running. So when people are, so the next one starts Christmas Eve, I think. Actually, the parasite one starts a bit earlier, but then the other groups. So the next one I'm doing is 32 days.
Yeah.
And it's a bit of fun.
Do they need a device? Or-
No,
Okay.
no. But that's what I'm loving about the company, you know, like, well, it just feels like I had someone today who said, but I want the device. And so, well, we will be able to get cheaper device, you know, here in Australia especially, the devices have been $1,000 US,
Okay.
you know, so because our Aussie dollar's so bad, that's nearly $1,500. So imagine what sort of a device you can get for $1,500 that's much cheaper. Or, like I said, you can open it up on your phone or open it up on your iPad.
Convenient.
Yeah.
So it's like an app or
Yeah, well, you just log into your account,
Yeah.
and as soon as you log into your account, you've got the ability to start the program. You know, and it's that $150 US a month to access the frequencies.
okay.
But again, you know, they've that price, it was $250 initially, so now it's $150, and they've added so much more to it since I've had it. It's very cool.
I remember you saying it was about two.
Yeah, so it's about $230 Australian,
Yeah.
you know, a month. Cool. Okay, so next thing. So now I'm going to go and see whether those infections and things are actually messing with the survival, because if we've activated survival stuff again, then that's going to again allow the infections to thrive and live in there. So let's go and check. The adrenals and hold. Okay, so the adrenals are okay. Survival switching, that's okay. Deep survival, that's okay. Hidden deep survival. Okay, so your hidden deep survival showed up. Because the little microbiome in there is used to it, however unforgiving it is at the moment. Right, okay, so the first little area showed up is called orbitofrontal cortex. This is an area with conflict going on in there. And you know, when you've had gut issues and constipation and lung issues a lot of your life, how do you know it's going to make you feel sick? How do you know it's going to make you vomit? How do you know it's going to make you constipated? So even when we're not consciously thinking about it, there's a lot of conflict in our brains. Well, what will I eat? What won't I eat? What's going to make me feel like crap? What's going to be okay? So orbitofrontal cortex, so that's limbic CV23, 15. And hold. Okay, pain and punishment circuit in there. But yeah, recently they added a whole bunch of foods to the bioresonance. So that's a whole thing, and at the end of the body system scan, there's now a hormonal panel that they've added. And just a month ago, they added all the Australian bush flower essences in there as well as the barks, and that was quite a learning curve because they're American, so they
Okay.
so they added all them to the device. Okay, so with this hidden deep survival pattern, the sympathetic nervous system is showing up. So now we'll go in there and we'll see what organs are being affected by the sympathetic nervous system that's being driven by the hidden deep survival pattern. So, limbic, CV10, yeah. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Yeah, so the sympathetic nervous system, when it's overworking, it switches off our rest and digest systems. So obviously the Bowen therapy last week must have helped because he's been sleeping well since then. But the cough is still annoying. Yeah, so I don't know whether you can see environmental toxins around. Actually, let me ask the immune system in relation to any and all environmental toxins. Just for fun. Yeah, so the immune system is overloaded with environmental toxins. Let's check the lungs. Hold back for me. Hold back for me. Okay. So once again, the immune system felt a little bit weaker than the lungs did. Did you feel that? Yeah. So if the immune system was, or the lungs, the gut, and the immune system was working better, it feels like the lungs would start to improve. Okay, environmental toxins. And again, hold that. Hold that. See if there's any other organs that are being affected by the sympathetic nervous system being overloaded. So stomach energy. So hold, I'm coming down and out. Hold, I'm coming down and out. Yeah. So when our hydrochloric acid level isn't releasing enough, that allows our acid alkalinity. Bit tender or tickly?
Bit tickly.
Okay. So if we're not, because basically hydrochloric acid in the stomach is one of the first things that's protective against environmental toxins, because of course they land on our foods, our water and everything, so they have to go into the stomach. So the more hydrochloric acid we release, which is a good acid, the more our body can break down a lot of these toxins and eliminate them. When we're not making enough hydrochloric acid because of drugs and other mechanisms, then, like even just not enough salt in our diet, because we're supposed to have stuff like Celtic salt and things like that. So if we don't have enough good quality salt in our diet, then our body can't actually make enough hydrochloric acid.
Do you stop any salting?
No, I haven't been able to get it for months. My suppliers have been out for months and months and months. Which is probably a good thing, that people are getting to know about it and,
How will you go with the magnesium chip top? Is that coming back in from?
For what?
Neurogenics? Is it Reenee-Jee? It's like a magnesium bar.
Oh, no, I think that's gone. That was pharmaceuticals. Yeah, no, I haven't made that in a few years. Yes. Okay. So now let's check a couple of food groups and see if any food groups are messing with his gut. So firstly, let's check in relation to, say, FODMAPs. I'm sure you guys have done some of this, but we'll check anyway. So let's ask in relation to FODMAPs. So these are fermentable oligosaccharides, disaccharides, monosaccharides, and polyols. So overall the body's saying no, so let's check a couple of them individually and just make sure. Let's check in relation to lactose. No, fructose.
There's lactose on it.
Mm-hmm. Fructans.
Is that in fruit?
No, fructose is fruit. Fructans is in things like glutens and broccoli and onions and garlic and stuff. And then there's galactans. Anyway, these are looking pretty good. And the other one is polyols. Those words I remember.
What are polyols?
Just one of the fructans. Funnily enough, they're in things like watermelon and some really inane stuff, but also a lot of the artificial the natural sweeteners that we use, like maltase and yeah, things like that. Or maltase. Yeah. So let's check in relation to oxalates. Nope. What about nightshades? Nope. What about salicylates? It's not feeling like it's food toxins.
Is that
Salicylates is in lots of really beautifully coloured fruit and veggies. You know, it's an aspirin-like substance in foods.
Oh.
Let's check lectins. Oh, hello. Found something. Okay. Okay, so lectins. Let me also check gluten specifically. Gluten and gliadin. Okay. And because it's lectins, let me also ask about genetically modified seeds. Right, okay. And genetically modified nuts. Right. Okay. And non-organic dairy. Okay. So lectins are a natural pesticide that's in a lot of foods. We have modified our food so much in the last 40 years that now there's many times more of the natural lectins in foods than there was before scientists started modifying them. So now there's somewhere between 10 and 1,000 times the amount of lectins in a lot of nuts, seeds, pulses and things like that. So then when the cows eat the genetically modified food, they end up with lectins in the dairy milk. So organic dairy milk is sort of a really good alternative to any non-organic dairy. And same with gluten. So the gluten destroys the villi in the intestine. So these are things that destroy the villi in the intestine. The less of the villi we have going in there, that creates the leaky gut. And the leakier the gut is, the leakier the lungs will be. So part of the solution is going to be to regrow those intestinal villi. So there is a probiotic called LGG. So it is in things like Kids Flora Care. Metagenics has got one with 20 billion LGG per capsule. So that'd be like one a day. But basically organic grains, organic dairy are two of the biggest things you can do for that. But of course, if he's secreting mucus, he shouldn't be having mucus secreting foods anyway at the moment while he's releasing mucus. But yeah, if you do want to do the bioresonance at some stage, that does give us a huge list of foods that his body is having an issue with. And what I tend to do is run the easy scan first. That one gives a bunch of foods that the body is definitely having an issue with. Then I run the vitals about half an hour later, and that also tries to bring the foods back in. But when we've got major health issues, anything that shows red, I just say don't do it. Green is good, red is bad. So just keep it really simple if you want to do that at some stage. But certainly lectins seem, so well, what did we check? So we checked FODMAPs, nightshades, salicylates, oxalates. None of those showed up, whereas lectins did, which is interesting because fructans includes gluten and wheat, but fructans didn't check because I checked it because I was surprised it didn't show up. And also lactose didn't show up, whereas the lectins in dairy milk did. So that tells me we've got to regrow the villi in the intestines. And probably that means we've got to regrow the little, what are they called? The ciliary. They're called ciliary in the lungs. So we've got to get a mucociliary pump working in the lungs. There's a product called, and I know he's taken lots of stuff, there's a product called Adelaise. Yep, just making sure. Biomedica Adelaise. It's a chewable tablet that's got vitamin A and D and then a couple of enzymes in it. So what it does is helps to build up the vitamin A and D in the lungs and mucous membranes, and the enzymes help to break down any biofilm that's in there. So it takes time, but it gets there. It's really nice.
My kids take it.
Yeah, it's pretty easy. And then the redox molecules internally or externally is awesome as well, because that just allows the body to heal. And because toxins has shown up, we need to get some of those toxins out. You can use things like zeolites, if you get a really good one. I don't trust any of the Australian zeolites internally. They're great externally, for in baths and foot baths and things. But they haven't been cleansed to 700 degrees, so they haven't released the heavy metals that is their job in nature to sop up.
Can you find lectins in what food?
Well, it's a natural pesticide.
Oh.
So it's in products. It's just in food. But it's particularly the nuts and seeds and pulses and things that have been genetically modified. And here in Australia, we don't have to get told if anything's GMO'd. We have no laws. And one of the biggest problems with that is about 10, 15 years ago now, they genetically modified a bunch of tomatoes. I can't remember which type of tomatoes, I just know it wasn't Roma tomatoes. So that they used a prawn gene to make them more red and sweeter for longer. So imagine if you have a seafood allergy and you have a tomato and then you have an allergy that you're going to assume it's the tomato and not even think that it could be connected to prawn. Like, that's just one example of how crazy it is. But we're obviously getting more and more and more allergies these days as people's immune systems are not awesome. Beautiful. So now I know I've mentioned a few things. So I just want to muscle test a few priorities that have come up through the balance. So you've got your C, D and elderberry at home. I'll add in Adamil. I'll actually put vitamin D, K in there as well. I'll put the redox molecules. The LGG or other floras. I'll put the zeolite on there. Now you've mentioned that he's pretty good taking supplements, so I'm just going to put a couple of little capsules on there as well for the lungs. vitamin A on there as well. Okay. Is there anything else that should be on this list that isn't? And I know you've probably got a bunch of other stuff at home, but I'll just sort of see what sort of things are jumping up and down at us. Yeah, right, interesting. So the first thing showing up is MediHerb Sinus Fort, 3 a day. Now, I put it on there because the herbs in that help to break down biofilm, but they also kill some of the infections like staph and strep because it's got golden seal in it. So something like that's showing up 3 a day, but it also tells me there might be some sort of postnasal drip that's going down into his lungs overnight. I know you didn't mention that, and maybe if there is, it might be so minor it just isn't a thing. But anyway, first priority is sinus fort, so we need something to actually kill some of those little bugs like staph and strep, or if SIBO is going on, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth. And it also creates an environment where it's harder for things like candida and fungus to thrive as well. Okay, so 10, 20, 30, right. So his little body wants oodles and oodles of the probiotic that help to regrow the villi. So it's showing up 40 billion a day of the LGG. Big dose. 2. Used to be 4 because it was always 10 billion, and about a year ago they brought out a double dose one. And something like the Adamil would be a good idea, you know, the chewable AD amylase and papain combination. They're sort of berryish flavoured, chewable, really not that hard. Yeah. Yeah. And then the 4th priority is the redox molecules. So I think we really need to kill some things off, start regrowing the villi, allow the, break down some of the mucus, because that mucus will be breaking down in both the sinuses, the lungs, as well as the gut. And that mucus might actually come out through poop and stuff as well. So don't be surprised if that happens. Beautiful. Okay. So let's now, this is a new program for this body now and in the future. The old program for this body is no longer necessary now in the future. Hallelujah and amen. Okay, is there anything else we need to do to finish off Luca's balance? Beautiful. Are we ready to bring Reenee-Jee back to herself? Awesome. Okay. Is there anything we can integrate into Reenee-Jee's body beautifully and easily? Do we need to do anything? It's already happened. So your body has already integrated some of that. Yay. You know, nice. So I'll get you to say, I am now 100% Reenee-Jee.
I am now 100%.
And hold out, and hold together. Awesome. Beautiful. So I'll upload this. You'll get a copy of it as soon as it's up and running, and I shall talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Reenee-Jee.